Hello and welcome to my channel. This is the Dude Abides 1998. You can call me Dude, Lock Dude, or even Hey You if you're not into that whole brevity thing. Today I will be reviewing the Reaper Set by McNally from Covert Instruments. I did buy the set with my own money, so there is no affiliation with Covert Instruments, and all thoughts of my own. First off, the case that it comes in a stealth gray case, is what they call it on the website. It's a good quality case. It's got a magnetic flap and has stitching all around. All the pockets and all the slots all have their own stitching, so it's nicely secure. Oops. The pins aren't falling out, even if I drop it like I just did. So that's good. Yeah. So you've got the two patches here for your turning tools and your picks. Then up here you got a slot to have any card size tool, like a latch slipping tool. Couldn't fit in there. The set also comes with McNally's patch. Looks like a pretty good quality patch. I think they said it's made out of PVC, and it's got hook and loop on the back to attach it. Good quality patch, looks cool. What else do you want in a patch, right? Okay. In the set, we have three. Oh my goodness, if I can get them out. Top of the keyway turning tools over here. Let's pull these guys out too. Okay. So talking about the turning tools. This is one of the main attractions for the Reaper set because they're new designs, which is a pretty cool thing. We haven't had new designs in a while, and some of these tools have made significant changes to the lock sport industry. First off, I kind of think these lockpicks, or these turning tools, look like a Celtic dragon. You've got like the head over here, and you got the little arcs and the swoops that you see a lot in Celtic art, and just kind of reminds me of that, which I like. I appreciate it. Also, since these things aren't symmetrical, it makes it easier to figure out which side it is that you are working with and which side it is that you are trying to find. If you look over here at the fin, this is the side that I find works better for locks where the keyway or the cylinder is flush with the lock, because it's, oh, I should grab the other size. Because this little lip here is a little bit longer on the side. So, I don't know if you can see that. So it reaches out to the very edge of the cylinder, if not just a little bit past. As opposed to if I flip it around for the other side for more recessed locks, it hangs out inside of the keyway and cylinder to help avoid hitting the outside of the cylinder, as you can see in this case. The bottom of the lip there for the flush side goes right up to the cylinder and almost makes contact with it. If there's a slightly smaller keyway there, I think it would start dragging. So it's nice that they come in different lengths, different sizes. Also, the plus side for this is that because of that lip, you get a lot better grip in the keyway as you do with a lot of other turning tools, and it just feels a lot more secure. We got the Z bars over here, and the Z bars are really interesting. One of the things that they have on both sets of the tools is these holes drilled into them. And the holes help you figure out the thickness of the sets that you are trying to find, and the holes go up with the thicker the tool is. There we go. So the 32,000s, the 40,000s, and the 50,000s all have the holes drilled in to help you find the tools a little better. The other big change is over here in this bend. Instead of just having a straight bend going across like you normally do with Z-bars, like, let's, not this one. If I were to pull out a set from the echelon, nope, I want the sparrows. These Z-bars are just flat. There's no notching, there's no curve, just a flat piece of steel that's been bent at 90-degree angles. So this bend and then, or this curve that they put into the turning tool really helps when you insert it. And you'll notice that there is a little lip right there. That's a good indicator for how far to insert the turning tool into the keyway. It almost sits completely outside of the keyway, and that just allows for a lot more space for you to take your pick and work your way around the inside of the lock. The other thing about these new ones is that the notch up here is on the opposite side of most of the Z-bars that have that little indentation cut into them. And that allows it for top of the keyway to sit up a little bit higher and outside of the keyway as well. And if you look at the 50,000ths, instead of having a notch cut into it, it's got teeth, and that allows it to grip more on lock cylinders that would be much wider and harder to tension. And I find that this fits into much larger keyways than I would expect it to be able to handle. Okay, going on to the profiles of the picks. Let's see if we can't focus here. We have 5 profiles. And all of them are slightly different lengths, going from profile 1 all the way up to profile 5. Let's flip these over. Starting with profile 1, I wasn't too sure at first what to think of this particular pick. The hook here is much more shallower than I've ever seen with a shallow hook. And if you notice, it's got a slight bump here as well at the top, which makes it look or have a very similar profile as the new McTickler, which I'll talk about in a second. I wasn't sure how to use this, and then I found that, for me at least, it works best when I use it in the same manner as the McTickler, only in slightly smaller padlocks and things with slider with smaller keyways. that I was having difficulty fitting the full-size McTickler in there. Uh, so, I mean, bigger isn't always better. Sometimes you need a smaller tool. So I'm just going to call this pick the Mini Tickler until a official name comes out, or McNally or lock picking lawyer says something else and gives it a more official name. The profile number 2 is the infamous McTickler. Now, as far as I'm aware, this is a brand new pick design that has never been seen before. The reason why I think this one's the McTickler instead of the Mini Tickler is because the Mini Tickler seems to be just a more subdued version of this one, as opposed to this one being a more extreme version of the Mini Tickler. I find that the profile seems to be kind of reminiscent of the Egyptian Kopish, and it has the short, shallow hook that curves into a secondary hump on the profile that kind of looks like a diamond, or yeah, half diamond at a slight angle. Going back, the whole set has this little indentation which just sits very nicely above on your finger, which gives it a more ergonomic feel, allows you to pick for longer, and that's absolutely fantastic. I love that. Yeah. So I found that the best way to use the McTickler is to use the bottom of the keyway tools, which are down here. And if you slide that in to that little lip where it sits down below, and then you take the McTickler, you push it in going down, rock it, and pull it back. Oh, come on. It does a pretty good job of opening up the lock. Almost every time. Um, I I have heard and read online that the people thinking that the McTickler isn't going to be able to pick locks because the hook is so shallow on it. But I have myself managed to pick up to a orange belt lock, and I know other lock pickers online have picked up to a black belt lock with the McTickler, so it is definitely possible. It's got the reach. It's definitely able to fit into and get all the pins in a lock without much issue. uh, so I mean, you can use it for single pin picking. What it really shines at is the hybrid picking that McNally does, where you go in and you zip a couple times and then you use the pick to do the single pin picking for whatever remaining picks you have or pins you have left. And it works really well at doing that. So I think that's a great aspect of this set. Going on to profile number 3. This is your standard short hook profile. Oh, there we go. It's a little shorter than most standard short hooks. It's about a centimeter shorter than the shallow hook, short hook from the Covert Instruments Echelon set, which I have here. So if we were to compare these two picks, it is noticeably shorter, but the profile is much the same. Just a slightly thinner tip there on the head of the pick. If we can focus in on that. So it's... Oh no, that's got the same profile. But the pick number 4, which is also a short hook, but this one, as you can see, has a narrower head and a deeper valley cut into there at the base of the curve. And what that'll do is that allows for this short hook to have much better and deeper access into a lock, and essentially allows the shallow hook to act as a medium hook. And then the final pick of the set is the medium hook that they have. Nope, that's pick 3. Here we go. The medium hook that they have, and the medium hook has much the same situation going on as the shallow hook of the set, because it's just a little bit shallower, or the head's just a little bit thinner there, and the hook is just a little, or the valley there behind the curve, it's just a little bit deeper than their traditional set. So my impressions of the set overall is that it is a really good set. I've gotten many locks open, some locks that I was having trouble with beforehand. I do not think that this would be a good set for a first-time lock buyer. You have only hook profiles, there's no rakes, and the profiles that you do have are modifications of kind of the industry standard, if you can call there, say that there's an industry standard. But for a second or maybe third pick set, if you really get into the hobby, I would definitely strongly suggest the McNally pick set. Thank you for watching my video.